Everything happens for a reason. So last night I was having dinner with my family, and the topic of basically what to do with your life came up, because I finished school, and I don't really have any plans, right? I've been trying to figure out what to do, and that topic kind of came up, and honestly I've been really stressed about it. Like every day, that's just what I've been thinking about. I've been thinking like, what do I do, and what do I like doing, what am I good at, what could I even do, and for basically every day I've just been blank. Like I just haven't known what to do. And at the dinner table last night, it was my dad, my mum, my sister and I. My brother was out, and I just kind of broke down because I was just so overwhelmed. Like I just didn't know what to do. And it sucks. Like it's one thing to like fail at something, or another to I don't know, to be successful at something, but it's a completely different feeling when you just don't know what to do. Like you just kind of have this, like, I want to say, like, kind of empty feeling inside you, where you should be doing something, but you just don't know what it is, and you feel like you've tried everything to figure it out, and you can't. And that was one of the reasons why I wanted to make this video, is because I didn't know what I wanted to do, and I still don't. And it sucks not knowing, but I can't do anything about that. And then I remember seeing like another a clip from another YouTube channel, right? And this came up like today, which is like crazy timing. And it was just basically saying like that, it's okay to not know what you're supposed to do, and just to be open to trying new things, right? And that's what I've been trying to do. And my parents even gave that advice last night, which I thought, that can't just be a coincidence, right? Like, I've been trying to figure this out for so long, and now that I look back on it, I feel like I have been kind of rigid with like, what I allow myself to do, just in day-to-day life, and like trying new things. I've been quite, I want to say, strict on myself. Like I haven't really been able to just try random things, do things I enjoy. Like I basically, this has been like my kind of basic routine, right? I wake up, I journal, I gratitude journal, I meditate, I go and have like the same breakfast, I go to the gym, then I come back, I'll read for a bit, then just probably watch some YouTube, and then that's basically it for the day. Like, and that's and work about 4 out of 7 nights of the week. So that's been like my whole life, and it's been it's been kind of just draining doing all that, feeling like I've been so productive and I've been doing all these things, and yet it almost feels like I've done nothing because I don't know what I should be doing. And that little video that I watched and the discussion with my parents, it really made me realize that like it's okay to not know what to do. And like I've just kind of gotten to the point where I'm just trusting the process. Like I know that everything happens for a reason, and it's okay not to know, because one day I will know, and I don't have all the answers and I'm not perfect, but I've just got to learn to trust the process, do the things I love, and not to be so like rigid and structured in like a day where I don't even know what I should be doing, right? Like I should allow myself a bit more freedom to try things out, see what works, see what doesn't, and that's what I'm going to try to do. And then this video kind of has like 2 parts. I know the title, Everything Happens for a Reason, it's pretty broad, but I wanted to have these kind of 2 main stories in it, because I feel like they've happened so recently in my life, and I feel like they kind of relate to one another. So the second one is it's about like experiencing your emotions, right? It sounds quite weird, but let me explain. So every day we've got things that happen to us, like good, bad, neutral, and we have emotions that arise due to these things. And from a video I watched, I saw like this deer, I think it was, or an antelope, something like that, right? And he got hunted down by like a lion, and it it got killed. It didn't actually get killed, but like the lion thought it had killed it, and so it wandered off to go kind of like secure around, you know, where its prey was, and the deer played dead, right? Don't get me wrong, it was like it was injured, and you could see that in the video, but it played dead and waited for the lion to leave to go, you know, secure the area basically. And yeah, then it got up, like it stood up and it ran off, and like it escaped basically, right? It survived, and once it had escaped, once it was in, you know, in a safe place, it started like shaking. It started like having this kind of almost involuntary response to the traumatic situation which happened. It started shaking, and after a few minutes of kind of like whimpering and shaking and stuff, it, you know, it was back to normal. And I thought that was really fascinating that, you know, that in nature this kind of thing can happen, right? You can nearly die, you can, you know, kind of shake around for a bit, and then you're back to normal, right? And as humans are animals as well, I wanted to relate this back to, you know, the human experience. And I've realized that society and so many people have had this wrong for so long. So I'll give you an example, right? Oftentimes men are told to, you know, keep their emotions to themselves, to keep it all, like, yeah, basically keep it all down, and not express themselves openly, right? And to some extent I agree with that. But like the other day, I saw this video, and I just went into my room and I just like let myself cry. Like I had like a bunch of things on my mind, and so much, you know, stuff that I was thinking about, and it made me realize that I've gotten really good at just hiding my emotions, and that, you know, your interpretation of that could be good, could be bad, right? I personally think it's pretty bad. You know, society and even myself, I've told myself, you know, like, don't show these emotions, right? They're negative emotions. You know, you're supposed to be a strong young man, all that stuff. And I've realized that everyone's got this like threshold. Sorry, this is this like crazy looking bee thing that's circling me. Yeah, I've realized that everyone's got like their own personal threshold on, you know, basically how much stuff they can tolerate, until they have to let it out. Otherwise it just kind of comes out, and it can come out in really dangerous ways. That's how often like serial killers and stuff like that, they often do these, you know, crazy things that people, you know, they're shocked to hear about. But so often you hear that, you know, they've had like a really traumatic upbringing, and, you know, they've never expressed or really experienced those emotions they should have at the time that happened, or, you know, or afterwards. They never did, and so they took it out on other people or something else, right? And then it becomes this huge event like in the news. And just today my sister wrote me a note, and well, last night she did, but I didn't read it till today, and I'm glad I did, because it was about like how she'd been keeping all these emotions to herself. And she, at the dinner table last night, she was there obviously, and she realized how upset I was with just not knowing what to do with my life. And, you know, she wrote me like a really sweet note, that, you know, that also made me cry. Maybe I'm just a big baby, but yeah, it was really sweet. And it was basically just saying like she had a bit of a falling out with a friend, and she didn't talk to her for a while, and then, you know, she did, and she, you know, she kind of resolved all these things. And it just made me realize how wrong society's been about this. How, you know, how we even say it to ourselves, like, you know, we keep the tears to ourselves, we do all this stuff maybe our parents told us, and I just think it's wrong. I don't think that human beings or any animal are supposed to just suppress these emotions and not, you know, not express themselves, because there will come a time, as I've said, where they'll just come out anyways, in either like a violent form, a dangerous form, or like a flood of tears, whatever it is. And so I think it's really important to take time, either by yourself, like in your room, where you just let yourself experience emotions basically, especially if you've been keeping them into yourself. And you can also do this with other people you trust, like family, friends, whatever, right? And I just think it's so important. And yeah, this this whole story kind of comes full circle because all these events have happened so close together in my life, and I found they're all so important. And you know, it's made me realize that everything does happen for a reason, and even if you don't know that reason just yet, the reason's still there. And yeah, I just want to really express my gratitude toward life, towards, you know, my sister, my parents, everyone in it. And, you know, this is a journey, and no one's got all the answers, no one's perfect, and we're all just trying to figure out our own little way in this world. But yeah, basically I hope you got some good advice from this, kind of in this 2-part segment in a way. And yeah, man, I'm kind of lost for words, honestly, and I think that's okay, because I've had a big couple days. But yeah, everything happens for a reason, and even if you don't know that reason, I just trust the process. But yeah, that's it for this video, and hope you enjoyed. Peace out.